If you're old and have been on the internet for a while, you definitely know what a creepypasta is. Just a scary story that circulates the internet from time to time. Many of the good ones come from the late 2000s, where almost anything was believed on the internet. But these days, we can tell that most of these were probably fake.
It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction.
Username 666 is a YouTube classic. Uploaded by Japanese YouTube channel Nana825763 in 2008. The story behind the video goes, a YouTube employee that worked there in 2006 noticed a certain YouTube account had been suspended. He asked about it, but everyone ignored him. Later that day, he was given a piece of paper by another employee that had a link written on it and was told not to ask about the account again. Once he got home, he obviously went to go see where the link led to. It led to a suspended YouTube page, but refreshing it, things started to get more distorted. The employee refreshed the page several times until a channel popped up, 666's banned channel. Starting to look at some of the content on there, most of the videos were crazy depictions of gore, smothered in distorted swirling graphics. The employee clicked through different videos until a blank pop-up appeared. He clicked on that and it led to a video of a woman drowning in a pool of blood. He tried pausing the video, but it wouldn't pause. Then he tried to turn it off, but that also wasn't working. Eventually, in a panic, he unplugged the computer. A few days later, the employee was fired, writing that the experience and the channel had affected him too much and he can no longer work at that company. Now, that's cool and creepy, the Devil's YouTube channel, but looking at the original uploader's channel in 2024, it's pretty obvious that it was fake. But he seems to be making a game, so good for him. Ben Drowned is a certified hood classic. A college student buys a copy of Majora's Mask at a garage sale. The cartridge doesn't have a regular label, only Majora written on it with Sharpie. Despite this, he buys it and takes it home. Upon starting the game, he notices a save file already on it, a file named Ben.
No.
Loading up this save file, things seem mostly normal, but soon weird glitches and odd events begin to occur throughout the game. Link, the character you play as, has really strange encounters with the NPCs. Also, the NPCs have really bizarre behaviour, acting all weird and shit. The game's music and text boxes also start to distort. The student gets off this save, deletes it and creates his own. But this doesn't solve anything, if only making things worse. Messages in the game pop up saying, "You shouldn't have done that. Ben is getting lonely, and it's already too late." The student pieces things together and realizes that the game is haunted by a boy named Ben who drowned. Ben begins to take control of the NPCs, toying with the student and messing with him, and eventually taking on his own form within the game, as another Link, but looking slightly different. All of this and the video you're watching now came from a series of blog posts in the late 2000s. Very spooky video game footage. SmileDog.jpg is still one of those ones that's actually still pretty creepy. I mean, looking at this, I think most people don't like the uncanny valley type look, but whatever. This photo comes about because of an apparent researcher who had heard about the photo and was interested in knowing more about it. All anyone, including the researcher, knew at this point was the photo had been known to cause severe psychological distress in anyone who looks at it, often leading to madness or suicide. A woman named Mary E. eventually comes forward to talk to the researcher, as she knows more about the photo. The researcher speaks to her and learns that the only way to stop being cursed is to show the image to another person, effectively passing it on to someone else. This was her original plan, to show the researcher and save herself from the photo. She changed her mind, but ended up killing herself, unable to cope with the torment. The cursed image itself is that of a Siberian husky, with unnatural human-like teeth and an off-putting, malicious grin. Along with the eyes, they don't help, they also look creepy as fuck. The victims suffer a combination of insomnia, anxiety, and terrifying nightmares, where they are haunted by the grinning dog. Researching this, I also came across this image. I don't know where it comes from, just found it in a Reddit post for an idea for the Smile Dog 2.0, which, yeah, that photo works.
What the dog doing?
But back to the original. A year after the woman died, the researcher got an email titled Smile Dog. Of course, he opened it and saw the image, and to save himself, posted it online for everyone like yourself to see it. Technically, we're all fucked. The name of this one is a slight problem on YouTube now, so the video starts with Mickey Mouse walking down the street with the face looking like he's thinking. Around the 3-minute mark, the video cuts off, then cuts back on. Mickey eventually starts smiling. His smile gets bigger and more distorted and malicious. Everything starts speeding up and the buildings in the background get more and more destroyed. The story behind this is that a Disney employee was looking deep within the Disney archives and came across a film reel. He watched it and by the end went completely insane, eventually killing himself.
What you doing there, Bill? Satellite dish trouble?
No, I'm just up here to kill myself.
Now, this isn't true. What might be true, people don't actually know for sure, is that Leonard Maltin, a Disney film critic, found a similar film in the Disney archives. Over the years, people have reanimated it, and that's why there's a dozen or so different versions on YouTube. So yeah, Creepypasta. This one is actually quite mysterious, with no one knowing who made it or where it actually comes from, but there are theories. The blank soup room is infamous, the video showing a man in a blank room eating soup with a large spoon. These two weird mascot things walk in and start patting the man on the back, looking like they're consoling him. It's a very short video, luckily. But I also want to point out that the lighting and these box lights, I don't know what this is, but it feels like this is an office space. I don't know why that's important either. It's probably not. But apparently these are called Ray Rays, characters designed by Raymond Percy, and there are reports of before this video coming out, the suits were stolen. How spooky. This next one's actually pretty cool. It's not a thought experiment, but it does make you think. A man named David Williams is challenged to go through all 9 rooms of a house known as No End House. With the chance of winning $500, he agrees to enter. With his friends waiting outside, David must face his deepest fears through all the rooms, with each one getting more reality twisting and disturbing. The first room was relatively tame, with simple Halloween decorations like pumpkins and plastic skeletons, giving David a false sense of the house. The second room is cold, and David starts to feel uneasy. The room is filled with real dismembered body parts, like arms and legs. David tries to ignore it and goes forward. The fourth room is different. No decorations, just complete darkness. Going through, David feels a presence watching him. He tries to move quickly as the darkness is suffocating him. The 7th room becomes more personal. The room is his childhood bedroom, where his parents are lying dead on the ground, but their appearance looks grotesque and unnatural, with their lifeless eyes staring coldly at David. The 9th room puts David face to face with his greatest fear, himself. He has to kill his doppelganger in order to leave. When David leaves, he receives the money and goes home, only to see the number 10 etched into his door. See, isn't that thought-provoking? Him getting the money and going home wasn't real. That was like the 10th room, or 9th room. It was one of them. Disney in itself has a lot of scary concepts. I guess if you put anything made for kids in the wrong setting, it's creepy. A man hears about rumors of a Disney resort called Malgas Palace, located in North Carolina, that was abruptly abandoned right before opening. Plagued by strange rumors, the man ventures into the decaying, overgrown site. Inside, everything is decrepit, with destroyed rooms and discarded costumes. As he explores deeper, he finds a weird-looking Mickey Mouse costume in the employee-only area. As he goes to leave, the costume suddenly moves. The man watches in horror as the Mickey costume stands up and says, "Wanna see my head come off?" and rips and tears at its own head, spilling blood everywhere. Yeah, see, Mickey is more scarier than he is friendly.